Good day, PJ. How you doing?
I am great, Keith. How are you? I'm just tired.
I'm doing well. Also a little tired. Getting towards the end of the week, fortunately. So for the final segment, I would like to ask you for advice. Advice specifically for anybody that might want to follow in your footsteps or similar footsteps, as well as any piece of advice you would have outside of your workspace. Just anything in general.
I think I'll start with the general advice because I've done this life thing more than I've done this, med student thing. And so I feel like that just comes to me more easily than, advice. So I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned in life, just stick to your guns. You know, you you know when you have like that feeling, sort of, you know, that's coming truly from within, when you have that internal dialogue and you get that feeling about something, try your best to stick to it. More often than not, that's the easier route. You know, you when you do that, you you have life become easy. Not life necessarily physically become easier, as in there's no problems, no issues, but life just feels a lot more easier. Making decisions comes a lot more easier when you're in that mind state than when you try and force things and make it happen. That doesn't mean that when things are hard you mustn't force things. No, it just means that if you're forcing things because of that feeling inside of you, because that that drive and that spark that's coming from within is what's making you want to force and make things happen, then go for it. No matter how wild the dream or aspiration is, just go for it. And I also think that there's another, part of some great advice that people don't want to do a lot of things because they're afraid that they won't succeed. People are afraid of failure, including me. I've been very afraid of failure, and just very conscious of what people think and how people can view me, and that has shaped a lot of some of my decisions. So I speak from a place of personal experience, and I say the decisions where I just, where I went for something, regardless of how it's gonna go, or just, basically took my shot at something. And when I had that, sort of drive coming from within, those have always been the more brighter moments in my life.
We're all doing this life thing for the first time. Like we're all at different stages, but it's never the same situation between two people. Might be similar situations, but never the same. So trusting your gut is very important. And when you trust your gut in whatever decision you make, it's my belief that at the end of the day, whatever decision you do make, you either blame yourself for it or you thank yourself for it when you trust your gut. It's always good to trust your gut and do what feels right.
It's sort of contradictory to trusting your gut, but when you feel like you also need help and you feel like you want to ask someone for advice, so you're just unsure, that is also good, because you can't make every decision by yourself. You can't just be one man, just taking the world on by yourself. It's unrealistic. It's just not gonna work. It doesn't work. So also sort of consulting and just asking people you trust, hey man, I need I just need to, talk to you about something, I want to ask. um and then making a decision after asking. I think that's also, you know, part of it. It's not just, having an ego so big and believing that I'm the only one who knows what's right for me. It's knowing that you know what's right for you, and if you know what's right for you, you will know when to ask. And when you feel like you need to ask, do so. when you feel like you need to reach out and ask and you get any type of help from, you know, anywhere. Not maybe you don't have friends, maybe we're not all blessed with, really great friends like Keith, but some people do not have friends. You can reach out to whichever avenue that is available to you.
I feel like I might have come across incorrectly when I say trust your gut. I don't mean it from a place of you shouldn't ever ask for help from anybody else. It's just a thing of sometimes, or a lot of the time, you really do know what you want to do or what you think to be best. But you doubt yourself. Like in this day and age, it's more often that people struggle with anxiety than asking for help. Sometimes we ask for too much help and too scared to think for ourselves.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I agree, man. I can attest to that. I've got anxiety.
I'm in the boat with you, but hey, man, we're figuring this out one step at a time.
Exactly, man. It's my first time doing this live thing.
Exactly. We're all learning this for the first time.
So far, I think we've done pretty good for ourselves. Don't you think, Keith?
And so far, we've done great, man.
So yeah, in terms of like advice, um, with regards to because I've spoken about just generally. So with regards to someone who wants to sort of pursue a career in health, like medicine, one one word for you basically. Technically, it's two words, but they they've been abbreviated into one, and it's don't. Save yourself the trouble and don't. But if you really do want to go on this path, I think the greatest advice I can give you, outside of everything that most people are going to tell you, is self care is essential. Just take care of yourself. You know, times you will lose yourself, and times it'll feel like you don't have enough time or enough resources to um, take care of yourself. But just find a way to do it. It'll go a very long way.
If I remember correctly from the first segment we had, definitely sounds like an important part of the process is to take care of yourself.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't do it this side. I've seen it. But also that's it anyway in life.
Uh, and with that, I think we can conclude everything. I'd like to thank you for joining the podcast this week and taking us through this journey of describing your experience with medicine and outside of medicine, who you are as a person, leaving us words of wisdom. And yeah, I really appreciate you joining us this week.
All right, thank you so much, Keith, man. Thank you for making me feel special, and feel very important. I'm still taking my baby steps, and I still have very little experience. Hopefully, I can come back in the future and just continue to share my experiences and my knowledge as I become wiser. And
I'd love to have you back. And I'd definitely love to update the audience on what you think and definitely seeing where this journey takes us both, man.